Jimmy, I gotta take a dump.
What?
No, I mean I need a dumpster.
Well, for all those needs, you need to call Big V Dumpster Rental, Long Island, New York, 631 900 dump.
The underneath guys got paid, and we didn't call them jobbers. We called them underneath guys. That was what we called them. And um, he was the booker in Charlotte several different times. We went to Florida in the mid '80s, and he was the booker down there for a couple of years. And I don't remember what happened there, but we went back to Charlotte again. We'd always go back to Charlotte. So I mean,
Yeah,
he was. It didn't matter. He made money for them, so they'd always take him back.
right.
So
So I have a fantasy booking question.
okay.
So and I asked you this once before that I had this thing that Wahoo would come to New York and team with Jay Strongbow and then turn on Jay and they'd sell at the Garden probably for months. And you had mentioned that Wahoo didn't really want to work heel, but I had another idea though, because they brought Jay Strongbow I think in like 1970.
Yeah.
And he was really the number two babyface in New York for at least 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Um, instead of bringing an Italian from New Jersey as a Native American, like, I wonder, like, why didn't Vince Senior bring in a legitimate Native American?
Well, Wahoo did work for Senior. I don't really know the years, but he did work for Senior, like Madison Square Gardens. He did wrestle for Senior. He never wrestled for Junior. That's when he was really big with
Well, I'm
Wahoo.
talking about like 1970, like way before Vince Jr. bought the company. I'm saying, instead of, I think Wahoo would have been a lot more legitimate filling that role as the number two babyface instead of Strongbow, because Wahoo's legitimately a Native American.
Yeah.
Strongbow's an Italian.
Yeah. Well, I agree, but as I said, he worked for Vince Senior. But I think the '70s were when he really was, and like I said, I didn't come around to the '80s, so the '70s was really when he worked in the Mid Atlantic territory. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So it wasn't even a thought that he would go up there.
Yeah.
At
Well,
that time, he was
the other
happy
reason
there.
for my argument would be that, I mean, he was insanely popular in New York when he played for the Jets. I mean,
Yes.
probably one of the most popular besides Namath. I would
Yes.
think Wahoo was like, he was right
He
up there.
was. He
Yeah.
was.
They
Every
would
time
they would say, tackle by who, and the whole crowd would go Wahoo. And
they go,
I mean,
guess who? Wahoo.
right.
Just
And I
screaming
mean,
out.
so the people in New York already loved him. To have
Yeah.
brought him back as the
I don't
number
know.
two. Yeah, I think it would have worked. Maybe he didn't want to do it, but
Yeah. He never, there's a briefcase here that's got Vince's phone number in it. It's not Wahoo's handwriting, so somebody had to send it to him, but he never called it that I know of. So I just think he had heard different. I don't think, trust me, he'd have never gotten along with Vince
well,
Jr.
would he have been happy working in New York though?
He was happy anywhere he made his money. He didn't
Okay.
care
Well,
what
he
it
would have
was.
made a lot of money, I think.
Yeah. I mean, he loved, as cold as Minneapolis was, he loved it. Well, it all had to do with his hobbies. See, he was different than your average wrestler. Your average wrestler, all they got is wrestling. That's all they have in the world. Go to work out, go to wrestle. 9 o'clock in the morning, he's out the door to play golf. 18 holes of golf, come home, change clothes, and drive to the town. Or he went fishing all day. That was the thing I think too about the Carolinas that made it his favorite, is that he had a lot of fishing buddies and he had a lot of golfing buddies, as well as in Minneapolis too, but not as much as in the Carolinas. And he went fishing, and that, I mean, he had hobbies. Most of those guys don't have hobbies besides the work that they do. They don't have anything else to do. Well, that wasn't he went to work to make money just like a banker goes to his job. But on his time off, he was fishing or hunting or whatever, fishing or hunting and playing golf. That's it. He played in a
Right.
lot of the Carolina uh I don't know what they're called, the fundraiser golf tournaments and all that kind of stuff. So, because he was a great golfer too.
Was he really?
Yeah, he and Trevino were golf buddies. Remember Lee Trevino? I'm
Oh
sure.
God, yeah.
And I've got a great picture of Wahoo and Lee Trevino and Charlie Pride, and then I've got another picture of Wahoo, Lee Trevino, Evil Knievel. He and Evil were good friends too, and couple of other, people in the picture where they played for some kind of tournament. But Wahoo was a very, very good golfer, a
He
great
seems
golfer.
like one of these people that would be like just whatever he decided, like any sport that he decided to take up, he would have been good at.
Except basketball. His mama told me we would go watch him play basketball, and me and father were embarrassed. I guess he didn't have the rhythm to bounce the ball. I don't know what the problem was, but he didn't play basketball.
Well, I
But
Uh,
mean,
he ran track though, didn't he?
oh yeah, he has shot put records and stuff like that.
Okay.